All right, so in this video, we're going to discuss 5 ways that you can make money with TikTok. Now, this is the 7th most downloaded app in the past 10 years. A lot of people think that it's this new app, but the truth is it's been around for quite some time. It has over 1.5 billion downloads, and it's something that you don't want to ignore. So we're going to kind of dig into some different ways that we can monetize from this. And I see people who have millions of followers on TikTok. They should be making a lot of money, but they aren't monetizing correctly. They're not thinking about how they can make money from it, and they end up having, a couple years of success on TikTok or something, and then they end up fizzling out and getting a job, right? So let's talk about how we can actually go through this process. And if you're new here to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more videos like this. We kind of dissect and dig apart some of these different marketing strategies and ways that we can monetize some of these different platforms. So if you're not familiar with TikTok, I'm going to assume that you kind of already are, but if not, just think of it sort of as like Vine's cousin, or think of it as sort of Musical.ly, it formed into TikTok. Okay, so it's these short little videos that can be anywhere from 3 to 60 seconds long, and a lot of them is going to be people who are probably Generation Z. So you're going to see a lot of kids on there, but now that we're in 2020 here, we're kind of pushing into this area where it's not just Generation Z. It's not just 14 to 15-year-olds on this app using it, but there are millennials. There's even older people. There's 40, 50-year-olds starting to figure out what TikTok is, starting to use it. And so it's definitely something that's becoming much more widespread, much more common versus some of these other apps we see like Instagram or Facebook, right? Where you see a lot of older people on them now. Even Snapchat, you see a lot of older people on that now. But TikTok is the one that's almost untouched from older people until these coming years here. And it's important to think about how we can monetize on this. Okay, so let's first talk about the most obvious thing here, right, which is making money from donations, right? So people can actually buy coins and then they can donate coins when you're doing live on TikTok, right? So this is a strategy that people use to make a little bit of money, but the truth is you should not be going the route of trying to do this. So every time that you go live on TikTok, you can get people to donate money to you, similar to how people might use Twitch to do that, where you get donations, or even with YouTube, if somebody goes live on YouTube, you can donate some money, right? That's not something that's going to be making you a lot of money on TikTok, and it's not the route that I would recommend going, or at least trying to do. But nevertheless, that is an option that is available. Now, let's talk about the next one, which I think is very lucrative, and it's something that people should really, really take into consideration, which is actually becoming a manager for people who are blowing up on this platform, okay? There's so much money in this. Trust me, I know this because I do this with YouTube. A lot of people that work with me for my primary YouTube channel has like 300 some thousand followers on that one, and I have a manager who helps me, connects me to brands. So he connects me with Squarespace, or with Audible, or with Wix, or a number of different companies that I promote ads for, and it's kind of the middleman here. Hopefully I'm not losing you, but essentially you can become a manager for people who are blowing up on this platform. A lot of people who blow up on TikTok, they end up with 1 million, 2 million, 5 million followers, and they didn't really do it sort of as a business, but they kind of just did it because it was fun. Maybe they were dancing, they were doing some voiceover things, whatever they were doing, it was just fun. And they need somebody in a lot of cases to kind of handle the business side of it, of how they're getting sponsors, how they're getting deals, doing live events, whatever it is. You can become the person who becomes the middleman there and connects them to sponsors, connects them to brands. I know that for myself, I pay people 15 to 20% is typically the industry norm for brand deals, right? So if I'm promoting, say I promote a company for $5,000 per video, which I'll do on my other channel, and if I'm doing that, then the person who connects that, the ads manager, or the person who's managing that, is getting 15 to 20%. Usually I try to do 15% deals. So they're getting 15% of $5,000 for not too much work. That's about $750 they're pocketing for being the middleman there, helping me with that. Hopefully I'm not losing you there. If I did, just let me know down in the comments section. I'll try to kind of explain it a little bit more, but this is a totally new market that's opening up here for TikTok, for helping people kind of connect to brands, okay? So that's one option. Now, you can also consider building TikTok pages and then selling them. Look, brands will pay money for this. They did this with Instagram years ago. People would build these Instagram pages to hundreds of thousands or millions of followers and then sell them to companies, sell them to people who will then use those to try to make more money or build brand awareness, whatever it is. Building sites or building TikTok pages and then selling them is certainly an option. It might not be all in good terms with their terms of service, so be careful with that. Take that as a grain of salt. But the point here is that it is something that you could potentially explore. Obviously, do it at your own risk, because I would assume that you're not allowed to sell or buy TikTok pages. But it is something that people will start doing in the future. They've done it with Instagram, Facebook, YouTube pages. They've done it with all those, and they're going to start doing it with TikTok. It's something that you can certainly make some money from. And I see a lot of people too who will run TikTok pages, and it's not them personally. It's not just them who are making videos, but they have voiceovers where it's a screen recording potentially, or it's them pointing at things, but it's not actually their face, so it's easier to sell it later on down the road, is what I've seen people do. But then there's also TikTok ads. So you can run ads on TikTok just as you can run them on Snapchat or on these other different platforms. Something you can look into. This is for, if you are trying to sell a product on there. It's not really, if you had a TikTok page, that doesn't really make much sense, but it is something you could explore, and we had to throw it in here in this video. And the final one here is actually something that I think is very, very interesting, and it's something that I do for YouTube, which is consulting, okay? So look, a lot of people want to grow their TikTok pages to millions of followers, but they don't know how to do it. And so there's this gap where they don't know the information. How do they get viral videos? How do they get something that's going to be appealing to millions of people? You can be that person that connects them to that. So if you grow a TikTok page, or if you just find yourself to be very, very talented and skilled at growing pages on TikTok, then it's something that you could explore by doing consulting for people. I know for YouTube that we leave a lot of links in the description here for these videos, that I charge $300 an hour to show people how to build YouTube channels, because my time now today is kind of valuable, and it's hopefully going to be more valuable in the future. That's not to brag. That's just saying that, look, I kind of consider myself to be pretty good with YouTube, especially with my other primary channel. I do this channel more so for fun here, but if people want to get on a call with me about how to grow a YouTube channel, I can help them do that. And I charge kind of a hefty fee because my time is worth a little bit of money today, right? Now, you could do that with TikTok. If you get really good at TikTok, you can grow it and then start to charge money. You can charge $100, $200, $300, $400 an hour for your time. Depends on supply and demand. It's basic numbers. But if you get good at it, you can start charging people to learn how to do this. You could also venture into the side of online courses, showing people how to build TikTok pages from that standpoint. I'm not a big fan of online courses, but it is something that you could look into as well. So those are 5 ways that you can look into making money on TikTok. But the one thing that you do want to remember is that every platform comes and goes, okay? And so people who were making videos on Vine back in 2014, 2015, it was great at the time. People like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Cody Ko, a number of people who were making videos on Vine, but then some of them died off and they never came back because Vine isn't around anymore, right? But the smart ones are the ones who moved on to other platforms, okay? So the key here is to diversify. If you grow on TikTok, start pushing that traffic to your Instagram, start pushing it to your YouTube, to other social platforms, so that you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket. That's the biggest tip that we have here in this video. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see everybody in next week's video.